Hi friends, welcome to my plan with me video where I'm going to show you how I'm setting up my bullet journal for the month of March. Before we even get started, let me show you this adorable clip that I found. This reminds me of the city of Belarus. If you read the Acotar series, let me know in the comments and tell me which one is your favorite book. Now I'm going to be using the monoline studio pens throughout the setup, as well as my Archer and Olive Dagray journal. I will be adding links to everything in the description, so be sure to check that out to get all the links to everything that I'm using and that I mentioned here in the video. And since spring is around the corner, I thought it was fitting to decorate my March bullet journal with a lot of beautiful flowers and greenery. I'm so excited for spring to be here, for the weather to start getting a little bit warmer, for all the beautiful flowers to start blooming, the beautiful colors, everything that spring brings. And if this is your first time here, hi, I'm Myra with Vial Designs, and in this channel you're gonna find a lot of calligraphy and hand lettering tutorials, as well as doodles, basically everything that you need to become more creative. And this year I started getting back more consistently into my bullet journal, and so this is my third month doing a plan with me video, and I'm super excited about it. As I mentioned before in my previous videos, this year I decided to focus more on memory keeping inside my bullet journal. So this setup is going to be a little bit different than a regular plan with me video, because I'm going to be focusing on my highlights, which you're going to see in a little bit. I'm going to explain a little bit more about that, as well as the things that I'm doing currently. So basically this journal is for me to keep track of everything that's happening during the month. Now for this cover page, I decided to do a lot of floral doodles and greenery, as you can see here. Floral doodles is one of my favorite things to do. For the outline part, I use a 03 monoline pen, and for the details that I'm doing inside the flowers and the greenery, I'm using a smaller tip pen. This is a 01, so that is a tip that when you add in details, try to use a smaller tip pen. It's going to be a little bit more delicate when you add in details inside the flower doodles, and that's also going to make it look a little bit more realistic. Moving on to the lettering part, I decided to do this mix of lowercase and uppercase lettering with an outline and one of the downstrokes. Now I know this might ruffle some feathers, because there are some people that don't like to mix the uppercase and lowercase, but I love this style and I thought it would be fun to do it throughout my March bullet journal setup. For the coloring part, I'm using the Tombow dual brush pens. Let me know if you want the reference of exactly which colors I'm using. Usually you will see me doing calligraphy with these markers, but I do like that they have a variety of colors, and so they're perfect for coloring as well. Now, a little tip for when you're coloring your flowers, as you can see here, instead of coloring in straight lines, I try to follow the shape of the petals. And so instead of doing straight lines, I'm doing like curved lines. This is going to help you to give it a little bit more dimension. And then if you want to take it a step further, do a second layer, but don't color it completely. Only do the outlines and a little bit of in the center, and leave some wide spaces. This is going to help you, like I said, give more dimension to your flowers, and they're gonna look more realistic, just like I'm doing here. So hopefully this helps you when you are doing the coloring in your bullet journal. To keep it very spring-like with pastel colors, I decided to do the lettering with this light blue. I'm coloring this outline that I did, and to add a little bit more details to the banner, I'm using the Tombow Fudenosuke to add these little lines to the banner. You can totally leave the cover page like that, but I'm always a little bit extra when it comes to decorating the lettering, so I decided to add a shadow with this silver glitter gel pen. No, you can barely see it here in the cover page, but in real life it adds a little bit of shine that is perfect and complements the cover page. I wish you could see it in real life so you see the shine. Moving on, the next page that I set up in my bullet journal is the highlights page, and for this I'm going to keep the lettering consistent, which is this mixed lettering with uppercase and lowercase, adding the outline to the downstroke. Basically, this page serves for me to write down about the highlights of the month. The little squares that you see here is where at the end of the month I print pictures, and in the blank space I write about the pictures and the important things that happen throughout the month. And then again, I'm coloring the lettering with the light blue Tombow dual brush pen, and also I'm adding this greenery to decorate the page as well. Keeping the lettering consistent, I added the shadows with the glitter gel pen. Now, if you want a video on how to add shadows to your lettering, let me know in the comments, because there are several fun ways that you can decorate and add shadows to your lettering to make it pop more. And the next page that I do in my bullet journal setup is the currently page. In this page, I record everything that I'm currently doing, like reading, watching, loving, listening, things that I'm proud of. And one thing that I decided to add is the milestones. So in the milestones part, I'm gonna record my social media milestones and also personal milestones with my family. Now for the reading part, I'm gonna write the books that I'm reading. I've gotten so much into reading this year that I also have a separate reading journal. I completed the setup. I'm finishing editing the video, so if you want to check that out, I'm going to be uploading it very soon. In case you're looking for any ideas to set up your reading journal, or maybe to include some pages into your bullet journal if you don't want to create a completely separate one, I'm gonna have that video very soon. Now, I usually don't get this part in video, but this is a gadget that you definitely need in your life, and it's the desktop vacuum. If you do a lot of erasing like me, this little gadget will be a lifesaver for you. I'll add it to the description down below. I think this currently page is turning out so cute because the vines and the border that I did, it just adds so much character to the page, as well as these little lines that I'm doing here, and the combination with the floral doodles and the greenery. I'm seriously loving this theme. I hope that you like it as much and are finding some inspiration for your bullet journal. Another goal with my bullet journal this year is to stay creative, and so besides memory keeping, I'm using this journal to dedicate a page to be creative. So that's what I'm doing here. I usually do a doodling page or a quotes page, and right now I am combining both. Personally, staying creative is something that has so many benefits for my mood, for my mental health. So I decided to make that a priority this year. Now, I understand that not everybody has the same time and level of skill to create doodles or a calligraphy quote page from scratch. So that's why I started my Patreon membership to make life easier for you when it comes to creativity, whether it's through step-by-step doodles or lettering and calligraphy practice pages or coloring pages where you can trace and color pretty much anything that you need to be creative. So I would love to see you inside the membership. As always, as with everything else, the link is going to be in the description. But even if you don't join the membership, I definitely encourage you to stay creative. Just do something that helps you relax, because being creative, whether through journaling, coloring, doodling, doing calligraphy, anything that makes you happy, it goes beyond creating something beautiful. It adds to your life. It helps you relieve stress. It nurtures self-expression. I mean, I can go on and on and on about the benefits of being creative. We'll stay here all day, but just take my word for it. Try to do something that brings you joy: coloring, journaling, bullet journal, doodling, any of that. Even going for a walk, that's being creative too. So just make sure that you let go of the excuse that you don't have time and you start making time for yourself and for being creative. Something that I like to do when I'm done doing a lettering quote is to add these stars and circles and dots all around the quote and the doodles, because it helps fill out the empty spaces and also adds so much more character to the lettering piece. So that's something that you may want to consider adding to your lettering pieces. Now, if you don't have time to recreate this page, I do have it as a printable that you can either trace it or color it and then add it to your bullet journal. The printables inside my Patreon membership makes it so easy for you to stay creative and add beautiful doodles and lettering into your planner or bullet journal, because you can sign up for the membership and then access all the printables. This month is all about flower doodles, greenery, and spring related hand lettering, but you can also have access to all the previous months full of step-by-step doodling guides, more practice worksheets for your calligraphy and hand lettering, and more coloring pages. So you don't have to stay with the current greenery theme. You can choose from any other themes that we did previously. The next page I decided to add into my bullet journal setup this month is the daily gratitude. And so basically I'm going to be writing one or two things daily that I'm grateful for. I know that we can have bad days, but no matter how bad your day is, you can always find something to be grateful for. Even if you woke up today, that alone is something to be grateful, and we can give a lot of things for granted. So I think that's important to focus on gratitude. And since we're focusing on gratitude, I want to thank you for being here. I'm seriously so grateful that I get to share my art and creativity with you, and that out of all the videos out there, you chose to spend time watching mine. I appreciate you spending time with me today. Here is the March Plan With Me flip through. I absolutely love how this month's setup turned out. Cover page, the floral doodles, the hand lettering quote page, and the daily gratitude. I hope you enjoyed this video and you feel inspired to create something beautiful in your own bullet journal or planner. And if you want more hand lettering ideas, be sure to check out this video next.